Hi guys, welcome back to Joe's RC Corner. Today we're back on the Giles 202, so stay tuned and we'll see what we're going to be working on today. Okay guys, so I got these gloves on, and it's not because of the coronavirus. We're actually going to be doing some painting today. I've gotten the cowl finished here. We've gotten my water slide decal of Joe's RC Corner on here, on both sides. Looking pretty nice and slick there. But I've also done the wet sanding, and we've gotten the blue stripe on, and the blue stripe matches up. And if you guys watched on my Facebook page, I used this Rust-Oleum metallic. This Rust-Oleum metallic blue is almost the exact same color as the covering metallic blue that I put on the aircraft. So, worked out great. I'm glad I found it. But today, I've already degreased this cowl, so I'm not going to be touching it with my bare hands. So that's why I have the gloves on. I've gone ahead and cleaned it off, and now it's ready for a clear coat. And now the clear coat that we're going to be utilizing for this is this Spray Max 2K. It's a two-part clear that works well on cars. I actually used this previously on a motorcycle tank when I was refinishing my Rebel 250. So when I use this this clear coat, it works really well. You puncture the bottom of this can, and it mixes the hardener with the paint. You shake it up for about 5 minutes, and now you have a two-part clear, similar to what you would use in a system to in an air spray gun to do a car body or something of that sort. So we're going to go ahead and use this. Now the only concerns that I've ever had with this, with using it on an aircraft, model aircraft, is parts that are flexible. Now there is going to be some vibration in this cowl, and I am worried about how hard this stuff gets in regards to whether it'll crack down the line, down the road there. I'm hoping it should be fine. It is a pretty rigid cowl since it is fiberglass, so we really shouldn't see too much of an issue on that, but just something to be aware of it. And so what we'll do is we'll paint this one with that clear coat, and then maybe next year we'll do an update video in regards to see how it came out. So I'm not going to do most of this on camera. We're going to do this off camera, and then I'll come back with you once it's been sprayed, and we'll see how it all looks. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll come right back with this. But I also want to just do a breeze through of everything that's been completed on the Giles as well. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't have the ability of turning on the aircraft right now because I haven't created my switches yet. Now we also do have all the servos are all connected. They're all powered up and ready to go. I just have to, like I said, get the power switches installed, and then this aircraft is more or less ready to go. The wheel pants are not completed yet. I've started them, but I haven't finished getting them ready to mount. So we'll be working on that as well. But I want to get that clear coat on the cowl first, and then we'll move on to the next steps. But I'll be back, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about it after I get that cowl painted. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, so welcome back, and it was just a split second for you guys, but I got a lot done in that split second that you guys were gone. So we got the clear coat on here with that 2K, and man, oh man, it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that sheen off of that, and the best part is these decals are going to be sealed in place. So it worked out really nice. I might, after a few days, might do a quick wet sand and then a buff on it to make sure it's really shiny, because you do get a little bit of orange peel in here, because that's just the nature of spraying with a can. But really nice. It's absolutely sealed in now, Gasoline won't hurt this because of that two-part clear coat. So we're going to go ahead and get this mounted back on the air. Well, I take that back. I'm not going to mount it on there yet because I want to put the wing on the aircraft, bring it outside, and go ahead and get that engine running since it hasn't ran in a long time. And then we're going to go ahead and set up all the control throws, make sure that they're as close as possible to the book. And then we'll be able to put the cowl on, put that away, and the airframe itself will then be completed. The last thing I'll need to be working on is getting these wheel pants fiberglassed, painted, mounted. And then it's ready to fly. Now I did find out that the aircraft was a little tail heavy, so I put the batteries as far forward as I can on a plate in the engine box. I moved the fuel tank to the center of gravity so that the aircraft doesn't change, the handling doesn't change throughout the flight. But I might still need to add a little bit of nose weight to the airframe just to get it right into that nose, slightly nose down position. But we're going to go ahead and test that out, and we'll see how it all works. And then if I have to add weight, I was really trying not to do that, but it is what it is. And we'll see how everything works out. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to get the wing on the airplane, get it fueled up, put it outside, and go ahead and do a test run on the engine since it hasn't ran in almost a year. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll reset up outside. On is push. On. Ignition's on. Should just kick. I hope the ignition's on. Cool, it runs. Okay guys, so I'm going to be calling it for the day. Basically, we have the aircraft completed. I just have to do some final assembly. I do have the wheel pants are hanging over there drying. The aircraft has been test run. You guys saw that. The engine runs great. I'm getting about 69 to 7,000 RPM at full throttle, and I can get it to idle all the way down to about 1,300 RPM. Aircraft doesn't even move at that RPM, so it's great. The wing, everything mounts, everything works great. I have on the elevators roughly about 30 degrees of up and down on high rates, about 20 degrees, 25 degrees up and down on the ailerons. Rudder, I haven't checked, but I got plenty of throw on the rudder. Now I've dialed it down in increments on 3 rates, so that way I'll be able to play around with it during the first flight to see how it feels. right now, the plane's going to have to sit because our flying field is still closed, unfortunately, and it's going to be closed for the foreseeable future until the whole thing with the coronavirus starts to die down. So I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified of new videos that come posted on the channel as they go. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and I'll put a little montage of some pictures of the aircraft completed at the end of this video. So again, stay safe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and keep building and keep flying, guys. See you on the next one. Okay, guys, so this is the final video here before the maiden of the Giles 202. So I just wanted to do a quick overview now that everything is completed on this Midwest kit. So the quick overview is we're going to go over a little bit of everything that's on this aircraft. So for the radio, I'm using my trusty DX8 G2 transmitter from Spectrum. I have modified it and by putting in the FR Sky Tyrannus Hall effect gimbals. So everything works really nice, it's smooth, and it works beautiful. So the Giles has a DLE 35RA, which is the rear exhaust version of this engine. I'm running an 18.8, I believe it's an 18.8 prop, might be an 1810, Zor, and true turn spinner on it. The paint was all Rust-Oleum 2X, which is the primer and color in one, with the clear coat being the 2K Max Glamour Clear. Provides a beautiful crystal clear finish on this aircraft, on the cowl, and it seals in the decals in the cowl as well. And of course, I had to put in the Joe's RC Corner decal on there. Set that aside. The wheel pants are also finished in that same clear coat, but with the and also the same white that I used on the cowl. The covering is all the new cover from valuehobby.com. Works very, very nice. It sticks very good. And then the vinyl decals that I created for the wing, I did myself as well, and along with the end number also on the back end. Now the pilot, I 3D printed the pilot, painted them, and also 3D printed and painted the instrument panels. So we have everything is set up. I'm running dual switches with dual battery setup. I have two separate switches running in parallel with two separate batteries. They're both 7.4 volt lithium ion 18650s. And then I have a 2-cell 18650 for the ignition system as well. Works beautiful. The servos were the Spectrum high voltage servos. Put out about 111, 101 ounces of torque, somewhere around that, at 0.13 on the speed, which seems pretty fast for an IMAC airplane. I'm not doing 3D or anything of that sort. I did not put the smoke system in this aircraft. I just didn't feel that it was needed since I'm going to be mostly doing IMAC practice with it. So I omitted that. But if down the road I want to go ahead and modify it and add that, I definitely can. So the tail wheel is a Dubro tough tail wheel. It's the semi-scale plastic with the spring system to the rudder. And it seems to work just fine. No issues there. I'm using all Dubro quarter scale linkage control horns, that is. May have to adjust those a little bit. Elevators, dual elevators, and a single rudder servo in the back. The throttle servo is the Corona high torque servo. Seems to run that just fine. No issues there. torque or for the choke, I went ahead and did a manual choke. I can just basically push it in to choke it on and pull out, choke off. Or is it vice versa? I'll have to double check that. But needless to say, that's all set. I do have the ignition switch over on this side, and I also have a fuel dot on that side. I do need to make my labels to go above the switches, so I can say receiver switch 1, receiver switch 2, and ignition switch. And then there is an LED on this side for the optical kill, so when the ignition system is in the on position on the switch, it'll show up on this side. Not sure if you guys will be able to see it, but it has a little LED that lets me know that the ignition is now on this aircraft. And that is programmed also to my kill switch here. So, needless to say, that's all set, ready to go. The batteries are up in the front as far forward as I can get it because it did come out a little tail heavy. And I will have to add a little bit of lead to the nose. Hopefully it's not going to be too much. It seems like it's just a couple ounces or so, which for this size aircraft is not that big a difference. It's not going to really affect it too much on that. I am in the hunt though for a washer weight to put up here in the front. Basically, it's a weight washer that will put a couple ounces of weight in the nose under the spinners instead of having larger weight here. Because the further out on the nose you can get, the lighter it'll be, or the less weight you'll need. But other than that, everything seems to run good. As you saw in the video, engine started right up once we got fuel up into the cowl or into the carburetor. Fired right up, no problems at all. Like I said, wheel pants are nice and sturdy. I have the axle going all the way through to the other side. So I added a wheel collar also to the outside of these wheel pants. So that'll add a little extra support to the wheel pant to keep that from breaking loose. But wheels both spin freely inside there, no issues there. But so pretty much the next video that you'll see on the Midwest Giles hopefully will be out at the flying field. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and that way you won't miss out on the video for the maiden of this aircraft. So with that, stay safe guys out there, stay healthy, and keep building and keep flying. I'll see you on the next one, guys.